All right, let's talk about something every single college student runs into. You've got this huge variety of classes, right? Different professors, different subjects. So how in the world do you actually succeed in all of them? Well, let's crack that code together. You've been there, right? You put in the exact same hours, the same late nights, the same everything, but in one class you get an A, and in the other you're just trying to stay afloat. It's so frustrating, and it can seriously make you wonder if you're just not cut out for that subject. But here's the thing. What if it's not you? What if it's not even the subject matter? What if it's a fundamental clash between how your brain is wired to learn and how that professor is trying to teach? That's the mismatch we're going to unpack today. To figure this all out, the first step is to look inward. We have to start with you and get a handle on how you personally prefer to take in new information. Now, a really great tool for this is something called the VARK model. And listen, this isn't about putting you in a box or giving you a label you're stuck with forever. It's just a simple framework to understand your natural tendencies, and it breaks them down into four main types: visual, oral, reading/writing, and kinesthetic. First up, we've got our visual learners. If you're the person whose notes are a masterpiece of different colored pens, who draws diagrams and mind maps to connect ideas, this is probably you. The information just doesn't click until you can actually see it laid out. Next are the oral learners. You learn best by, you guessed it, listening. You're the one who can absorb a whole 90-minute lecture just by paying attention, and you absolutely thrive in study groups where you can talk everything out. You might even find yourself reading your notes out loud to help them sink in. Then we have the reading/writing preference. If you feel most at home with a textbook, if you love making detailed outlines and rewriting your notes, you probably fit right in here. For you, information feels most real and most concrete when it's written down. And finally, our kinesthetic learners. You guys are the doers. You learn by getting your hands dirty. Abstract theories are fine, but they don't really make sense until you can connect them to a physical experience. We're talking science labs, internships, projects, anything where you get to apply the concepts in the real world. Okay, so you've got a better idea of your own style. Awesome. Now we're going to flip the script and analyze the other half of this equation, the teaching style of the person at the front of the room. You're going to run into these four styles a lot. You got the classic lecture, the intense, question-heavy Socratic method, the modern flipped classroom, and of course, the hands-on experiential class. But pay close attention to that last column, how you can succeed. That's your personal cheat sheet for every single class. All right, now for the part that really matters. This is where the rubber meets the road. We know our style. We can spot our professor's style. So what do we actually do about it? This is your practical playbook for success. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? What happens when you, a hands-on, kinesthetic learner, are stuck in a 300-person lecture hall where a professor just talks for an hour and a half straight? It can feel totally hopeless. But it's not impossible. A mismatch doesn't have to mean failure. It just means you need a strategy. Your job is to become a translator. You have to take the information you're being given in one format, that lecture, and actively translate it into the format your brain understands best. Find a real-world case study, sketch out a model in your notebook. You take control. So here's a system to put it all into practice. Steps 1 and 2, that's your homework, your foundation. But step 3, that's the real game changer. You have to proactively develop strategies for those mismatches before you fall behind. Then step 4 is where you grow, by intentionally pushing yourself to use other styles. And step 5 is absolutely crucial. You have to reflect after exams. Every test becomes valuable intel for how to do even better on the next one. And all of this brings us to the real goal here, which is honestly so much bigger than just getting a good grade in one class. It's about building a skill that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. Look, identifying as a visual learner is a great starting point, but it's not your whole identity. The real power here doesn't come from slapping a label on yourself. It comes from building a whole toolkit of strategies that allow you to learn effectively in any situation you're thrown into. It's all about becoming flexible. There's a powerful word for this master skill: metacognition. All it means is thinking about your own thinking. It's that moment when you pause while studying and ask yourself, wait a minute, is this actually working? Am I just reading words on a page, or do I really get this? That self-awareness is what separates the good students from the truly great ones. I really want to leave you with this powerful idea. That feeling of frustration you get in a class that just doesn't seem to click. Don't look at that as a roadblock. See it as a gym for your brain. It is a chance to build a new mental muscle, to become a more versatile and resilient learner. And that is a skill that will pay off for years and years after you graduate. So my challenge to you is this. Don't just let this be interesting information that you file away. Put it into action. Right now, think about it. Based on everything we just talked about, what is one small, new strategy that you are going to try in one of your classes this week? Because that's how real change always begins.